Can I talk my shit now?
So I figured that, listen, this is how you make two become one, and the key aspect into realizing this. So I'll give another quick summary of this. It's going to sound like a broken record for the first 30 seconds. You have four parts of you. The real part is standing behind those four parts of you. So you have the tyrannical father, you have Satan, you have Jesus, you have Lucifer. Now you can make Lucifer and Satan become one. You can make the tyrannical father and Jesus become one. So now you're left with Jesus and Lucifer. So the key aspect in this is to, again, I'm not talking about some separate entity. I'm talking about you. So the key aspect in this is to realize that they're the same thing. So, and the way to do this and to become whole, make you return to you, become one again, is you have to again realize they're the same entity looking at things in a shifted lens. So the way in your mind realize this. So Jesus would be considered the hero, correct? And Lucifer could be considered looked at as the villain in a weird way. So here's the key into flipping this and realizing, hey, it's one, obviously one. They both had the same mission. They both were trying to accomplish the same thing. So what transpired is, okay, so for an example, you have to tie this in with you and then tie this in with the way things have been presented to you. So the way that Lucifer has been presented to you, he's the bad guy. The way Jesus has been presented to you, he's the good guy. So you have a hero, you have a villain. And the beauty in it is, again, pulling back the layers and digging through the bullshit and realizing that Lucifer was not the villain. He was a hero. He was the hero too. So, for an example, like one thing that you'll notice that was pushing Lucifer forward was like anger, etc., trying to overthrow God. Again, when I'm saying God, I mean the tyrannical aspect. And I feel like Kurt was pushing Lucifer forward and essentially trying to more of a I'll show you type thing, pushing Lucifer forward. And the thing that was pushing Jesus forward was love. So, and it was a vision. They both had the same vision. They both was pushing forward through the same thing. And Lucifer, if he would have realized it, was doing it out of love too. It was masked in the things I just mentioned. So the key is to look at this all, take a step back and look at the whole overall. And when, god damn it, dude, when you take a step back and look at the overall, it becomes apparent that you are the hero, you are the villain, or you thought you were the villain. So you were the hero, you were the villain at a certain point. Now take that out of it because you realize you're the hero the whole way through. And then that becomes one. But you have to, like, I'm speaking words to you. Realize this. I'm speaking words. You're going to have to do some reflection and some understanding and some connected dots with this. But it's right there in front of you. It's right there in front of you. So basically, what we're doing at this point is we are becoming whole. We're becoming whole. And then there's also, now, some of these parts of you, like becoming whole is the goal. But just because you're becoming whole So I'm going to give you some examples. There's layers to this. At the overall, we're becoming whole again. Bring it down to right here. What you're doing is you're changing your mind. And once you see through an illusion and you change your mind, it dissolves, correct? So you have a believer in you and a non-believer. So essentially what you're doing while you're becoming whole is you're changing your mind. You're convincing the non-believer to believe because the evidence is so stacked. It's almost like you're using a sleight of mind against yourself. It's so goddamn epic, man. Jesus Christ, I just now realized this. It's like a sleight of mind to yourself. It's like, okay, I've tried to tell you this and explain this to you. So, you're not listening. So, I'm going to play your own game against you. Is basically what it is. It's like, hey, I'm playing your own game against you. Let's see how you do this. Let's see how you respond to this. So, you want to keep a logical mind. Like, you don't want to get rid of you don't want to get rid of your mind and the ability to think and process information and use logic and shit like that. But you want to get rid of the programming attached to this. So what you're essentially doing, and it's so goddamn amazing, it's like you are, look at it like this. It's like, hey, you're looking at this from a purely physical and logical standpoint of reality. So we're going to play your game. We're going to play your reality by your reality's rules and then explain it away when you're getting smacked in the face with shit on a consistent basis. Explain that away. Let's use your own logic against you. So how are you going to use logic in this regard when that's what you're using to defend this being a physical reality and things have to be done a certain way? So explain it away when it's not, and you can't deny it any longer. Explain it away. It's so beautiful. It's like a sleight of mind you use on yourself. So it's almost like you are convincing the non-believer to believe. And again, it's not convincing. It's just presenting things that cannot be explained away. And it's also like you have a teacher and student inside of you going on. And then the teacher needs to learn from the student is the key in this. Like the student learns, but the student obviously learns from the teacher, but the teacher needs to learn from the student. It's like the Jonah story. It's like that story, Jonah in the well, Belly the Beast for 3 days, the Pinocchio story. You see how these stories are going on at the same exact time. And it's so beautiful because they all come together beautifully with a nice little ribbon on it. Goddamn sleight of mind, man. This is so goddamn, dude. I just realized. All right. So we are going to become whole. We are going to flip our perspective and overthrow the tyrannical idea of God in reality. That's what we're doing. The student must learn from the teacher. The teacher must learn from the student. This is happening. And then you have the father and son thing, who they become one. Everything needs to become one. This is the ultimate goal here at the end, is grab this, mold it, turn it into one, and then let go. Man, this is like seriously more incredible. All right. So that's what we're doing. This is how you become one. Play these things through in your mind. So, and correlate this with the fact that you'll look at yourself in reverse at times. You'll look at yourself in the opposite of what's really going on, or you'll focus on one or two, or you'll focus on a couple negatives while the rest of it's positive. So let's say there's 10 in total, 10 things in total. 2 of them you perceive to be negative, so you're gonna focus on those and latch onto it, while the other 8's just floating around out here. Realize you do these things. Realize you've been looking at yourself in reality all sorts of fucked up. Look at this through a different set of lenses. You know, the new eyes you're receiving and the heart that's opening up. Explore this through that instead of the old bullshit programming. Okay? So it is a game of form in the play of life. I am you talking to you. This is what we do. Create illusions, have an experience, tell stories, wake up, and love ourselves and our creation and create. So, I love you. Put those bags down, man. Put them down. Put them down. You're right there. You're fucking right here, actually. Put them down. I got some shit I want to show you. I want to have an actual conversation, too, because this is crazy. What we're doing is delusional and crazy, and when you fully accept and realize that, then we can have some real conversations. So, wake up.